What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Wheels, and I wanted to make this quick video to quickly go over my posts in the community tabs. So basically 2 weeks ago, Saturday, I woke up fine, but as the day progressed, I started feeling sick, and as it went through the day, I started feeling worse and worse, and by that evening, I was a mess. I was having chills and fevers, and by the middle of the night, not even medicine was helping calm down the fevers. And I just felt off, very off. Like I'm a very independent person, and I couldn't even get myself in the car, like I normally do. I just felt weak, so I decided to go to the ER, and yeah. Now, before I say what's happened, I do want to quickly go over why, despite just having chills, why I rush myself to the ER most of the time. So, if you're new to this channel or you really don't pay attention, newsflash, I am a paraplegic. I know. That's why, I chose TheWheelz. And for the most part, I am very healthy. Even recently, I've been trying a lot to get my health under control. But one thing that I get sick the most throughout my life is UTIs. This isn't something I feel comfortable talking about, but I think it's good to talk about it just because, like I said, this is a reoccurring thing that happens to me. And for the most part, if you know about UTIs, they're not dangerous. But for me, they can get dangerous. And I'll explain real quick why. Real quick, like I said, I am a paraplegic. For those of you that don't know, I was in an accident when I was 6 months old. In fact, coming this December, it'd be 31 years in a wheelchair, or is it 32? 32 years in a wheelchair. Man, I'm losing track of time. It's been a while. But yeah, I've been in a wheelchair for most of or all of my life. Obviously, I wasn't born this way, but you can't control what happens when you're little. I just grew up and let it be a part of my life. But the biggest thing that has always gotten me since little, when I got sick, was UTIs. I've only gotten the flu like once in my life. The cold is like once or twice ever. Even during the COVID, all this COVID stuff, people were getting it like twice, 3 times. I only got it once, and it didn't hit me that bad. But UTIs are a different story for me. If you don't know, for someone like me, a paraplegic, even quadriplegic, one of the things that we have to watch out for, one thing that we're prone to, are UTIs. Growing up, I didn't understand it that much, and I, just shrugged it off. But even from little, they used to hit me really hard. If you don't know, like I said earlier, UTIs aren't really a big deal. You start getting symptoms, and once you get those symptoms, you will definitely know, fevers, discomfort when you have to pee, maybe some pain near your abdomen and your sides, and then maybe some nausea. And normally, all you call your doctor, tell him the symptoms, and usually you get given some antibiotics. And in about a day or two of starting those antibiotics, you're good to go. Obviously, you got to finish the antibiotics to make sure it's gone. But, if once you start those antibiotics, within a day or two, you start feeling better. Depends how strong this infection is. But for the most part, you're good. And growing up, that's usually what happens. I started getting fevers. I called the doctor, and I would start my regimen. And growing up, it wasn't a big deal. At least, like I said, I didn't really pay attention. I'm young, but I get sick, do that, and I'll get better. But it has become a problem as I'm older, for one particular reason. That reason is because I've gotten so many throughout my lifetime. My body is kind of built a small immune to them, which, yes, that is very good. Very, very good, right? You get an immunity, it doesn't hit you as strong. But that's the thing, is that because of my body's grown resistance to it, they become harder to detect. So by the time I do detect them, they're full blown, really strong, and just much harder for me to fight off. And I'll get more into that in a second. But another reason why they're harder for me to deal with nowadays is also medication wise. As you guys know, when you're a little smaller, you get allergies, and most of the time you grow out of those allergies. But the same could be said where you grow up with no allergies, and as you grow up, you start gaining allergies. When I could make a good example is when I was younger, freaking spring, the pollen season never affected me, and then in the last 5 years or so, I hate spring. I go out, my nose gets runny, my eyes itch. It's terrible, right? So the same is said with me and medications, mostly antibiotics. Because of how many UTIs I had growing up, I've taken antibiotics a lot. And two things have happened to me with these antibiotics. One, my body is starting to fight off the antibiotics, and I've gotten allergic to a couple of antibiotics throughout my life. Like, mainly my main allergies are all medications that my body don't like anymore. I start swelling, or I'll get really bad hives. But another thing is my body has grown a tolerance to antibiotics after taking them for so long, that when I do get this sickness, doctors have a hard time finding a way to treat me, because like I said, they're either grown too strong. I am either allergic to an antibiotic that they could give me, or the antibiotic that I could take. I am like, they're really resistant, and they just do not help. So that is the issue I ran into this past weekend, or this past 2 weeks ago. I wanted to get really quick into detail what I said that I'll get into, and that is what happens when you let a UTI get stronger. Basically, you start off with a UTI, and if you don't treat it right away, it becomes into polynephritis. I'm saying that really wrong, but I probably put a word for you guys. You guys can look it up. But basically, what that is a kidney infection. And as I gotten older, I have gotten a lot more kidney infections, because by the time I notice, my UTIs have gone up to my kidneys. And you don't want that. I promise you don't want that, because those are when it gets dangerous. That's when you're practically having to hope the medicine works. They take a little longer to get to deal with, and depending on the situation, you either take oral antibiotics, or for the most part, you have to do IV antibiotics. And I want to give a good example that's happened to me when I was 15. I was in high school, and this is why I kind of got a little scared 2 weeks ago, because the exact same thing happened. But basically, I woke up fine, just like 2 weeks ago. I went to school, and as the day went on, I started feeling terrible. I had no symptoms leading up to it, and that morning, woke up fine. That evening, I was being medevaced by helicopter to a different hospital, because I had a really bad infection in my kidneys, And basically at that time, my infection ran through my kidneys and got into my blood. I went to I had sepsis, and a week later I was in septic shock. I don't want to go into details. It was very rough. Just know that I was on the verge of dying, but here I am. But I basically, the same thing happened 2 weeks ago. Not to that extent though, but waking up feeling fine, and by later that evening I was sick. Luckily I did catch it on time, and I was in a hospital about 3 days, and got home. I'm sorry I didn't make a post. I've been trying to get better, taking all my medications that I have to take. As you can see, we're drinking a lot of water, and trying to get better. But that being said, I just wanted to give an update. It's really hard for me to talk about this stuff, but just know that I am getting better. This is something that takes time for me because, if you don't know, like I said, when I was in high school, that infection that nearly offed me, did mess up my kidneys. I have bad kidneys functions. One works at 60, the other works at 40%. I know that sounds weird. I asked my urologist, I was like, is that normal? They're like, no, it's not normal, but your function still comes to 100% despite being like this. So, you're still, but ever since then, I have to take care of myself. I've grown to know even the smallest of symptoms or the smallest of things that I noticed, that I would call my urologist right away to get it under control. But for the most part, moving forward, I am going to be starting to post shorts. I have been working on a video that I can never finish because something comes up. So I do apologize. That video is going to be delayed. I get in trouble because I put so much time into putting effort into my content that I forget to my health. So, like I said, I'm sorry if videos are a little longer to come out. I'm gonna have to pay attention to my health after this health scare. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing a couple of shorts coming up. I really enjoy putting some shorts while I get these videos out for you guys. Also, I do want to say, this Thursday, there will be a 24-hour stream. You guys know I've been posting videos of these 24-hour challenges, trying to get shiny Pokemon. The new challenge is going to be happening this Thursday. We're going to be doing 24-hour streams, so go make it out. Go make sure to check it out. My link for my Twitch is linked down below. If you can't make it, it's fine. You guys know that I always make a summary video of what happened during that challenge, so you be posted for that. I think I rambled long enough. I know I post some of these videos of myself, they're not Pokemon related, but I always like to keep you guys in the loop. That being said, I appreciate everyone, that's been watching. We're slowly growing, and it feels great. And I hope you guys, are ready for any content that's be coming up. Just know that it's going to be slowly coming back up, just because I need to watch my health a little more. I think I put my health to the side too much, and it caught up to me. So I am doing a lot better, so thank you. And we are back. We're back. Couple of shorts, 24-hour stream this Thursday, so go check it out. And this is Wheels. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm rolling out. Peace.